Hello, DJ Sab back again. Now this time we'll be checking out Sony Vegas Pro from the basics to the pro level. So I will show you a couple of things that I know about Sony Vegas, and it has no big difference compared to Sony Acid. Like the interface, I can say the interface is kind of the same, but it has been tweaked a little bit in Pro 12, Sony Vegas Pro 12. As per now, it reaches up to Pro 17, but I'm using Pro 12 because I find it comfortable and easy to use. Like you can see the interface of Sony Acid, here it is. So all our work we usually do it at the top. Here is our where we control our volumes, add effects, and everything. And here is where we see our project. Now in Sony Vegas, at the bottom is where we'll control everything, and on this black screen on the right is where we'll see what we are doing, and here it's where we'll like preview what. Let's say we don't know about the song we are about to load, so you just place it here and preview it, then you drop it at the bottom. So it's like I've already started the tutorial on a high note, so let me take you slowly by slowly. At the top, it has no difference to Sony Acid. If you have already know how to use Sony Acid, it's the same: file, edit, view, etc. So on file is where you can start a new project, open a project that you did before, close the current project, save. Here is where you save. You choose to save the file in any format that you want. All of this, if you are familiar with Sony Acid, I'm pretty sure over here it will be easy. So as you can see, render as when I remove my mouse, the render as is not that visible, but I place my mouse over here, it's visible. So here it will be visible the time you already have a project on your work area. Real-time render, I've never used it before, but so I don't have much info about it. Over here is where you can import anything, but if you are using it for DJing stuff and everything, over here you won't be using it at all. So exporting is when, let's say you have another software, a video editing software like Pro Tools, Media Composer. I believe it's for audio, because I believe it's an audio format like MP3, Premiere Pro or After Effects, Final Cut going on. This is where, let's say you've already worked on a project in Sony Vegas and you want to export it to either of these softwares to do some additional things. This is where I usually come and export it. Capture video, I don't use it. Extract audio from CD, I've never used it, I don't know the use of it. Share online, I believe nobody usually don't go even over there. Upload to YouTube, maybe it's a direct link to upload it on YouTube direct after maybe rendering, I believe, and so on and so on. Edit, the same thing, undo, redo, copy, cut, etc. So there are a couple of things I'm pretty sure you're already familiar with if you have been using like even Microsoft Word, where you just copy and paste things, words, Sony Acid, and many more. So on view it's like where you control everything that appears on your display. So when I turn off the Explorer will won't be there. When I turn off Trimmer, it won't be there. So on and on. When you keep on turning off, you'll keep on excluding something on your interface. So if you are, let's say you blundered and you don't know where you blundered about your interface, you just come to Window, Layouts, and come to Default Layout, and everything comes back to normal. That's all on the view. So over here I'll come back to it and show you like the important things that you will make your work a little bit easier when you are mixing video and audio from Sony Acid to Sony Vegas. Tools, to be honest, I've never come to tools. I don't use it at all. Option is another crucial part. So in Sony Acid, audio usually, like, for better mixing, your audio should snap on a bold line. uh, for better mixing, for the best, not better, best mixing, your audio should snap on the bold lines or any grid. Like over here we have like the grids from 0.00 to 0.0000.15 seconds. Yeah, so this is where you can adjust like how you want to work on your, over here on your work area. So if you enable snapping, over here it's good to enable snapping, so that when you drag something, it snaps automatically. Because if you start moving it with a mouse, you'll end up messing up. So let's get started. I've already talked about the toolbar, I believe. Not the toolbar, this is not the toolbar, the menu. So I believe this is the toolbar. So the same thing, this is where you start your new project. Open a project that you've been working on, save, you save as, you choose how you want to save it, properties, and a cut, copy, paste, undo. Like, there's no need to go over it like placing my mouse and telling you, because you can do that on your own. So over here, remove all unused media files. So over here, what they mean actually is, if there's something that you have dragged into your project but you haven't used it, when you click over here, it will be removed automatically. So that when you're rendering, it doesn't consume like the whole RAM that you're using. So this is a good tool. I've never used it, but I've seen it and I'll start using it. So over here you just import. It has no difference compared to this. So over here, I don't believe if you'll ever come and touch it. I don't believe you won't. So over here you can see like there are a couple of things that look alike in Sony Acid. So over here, to be honest, I don't feel like you won't bother coming here if you will be using Sony Vegas for just mixing. Yeah, so over here is project media. I will talk about this when we'll be importing our stuff. So over here, Explorer is where you, let's say your files are on the desktop. You'll just come and click it and drag it to your to your work area. So, or you can do it manually, where you press Windows E on your keyboard, and then you come to where your files are. Let's say here, you come and drag anything that you want and place it over here. So that's the use of Explorer. Transition is when you'll be, let's say you want to move from one song to another in terms of video. This is where you'll just come and drag the transition that you want and place it on your video. So there's too much talking on this, but I prefer showing it to you visually. Talking is kind of misleading. Video effects is the same thing. I will show you how it works. So over here, the trimmer, it's called the trimmer. So this is where you just place your video. So another thing, when you come to Explorer, and your content will be here. So you drag it and place it over here. If it's the right content that you want, you take it and place it at the bottom. I'll show you everything in the next tutorial. So over here is where you'll be seeing the real-time progress of your work. So over here you can just close it if you don't want it. Or another thing, these too many dots, when you click on them, it will allow you to drag this tab and place it where you want. Since I don't want to move it, I'll just leave it where it is. So another thing, video properties. This is where I will show you adjust the properties in terms of quality, dimensions, etc. So over here it's like when you want to preview your work from an external monitor, or the current monitor you're using as a full screen. So you just click on it, and it becomes this big, and then you press escape on your keyboard to get back to your normal display. So this split screen, I really don't know about it. I haven't used it. So the preview, if you're using like a low-end PC or a low-end computer, whereby you like your RAM or your processor is not that uh, 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 that good for rendering HD format when you're working, you just click over here and come to preview and set it to quarters, so that when you're RAM previewing your video, it moves swiftly. So when you are done with your work and you want to your computer to like RAM preview and eat up your RAM and processor, you just come and say best and best full. This your video will be the high quality, but it will run slow. So what I usually do, I usually put it on preview and quarters, and it usually moves smoothly. So over here the master, I don't use the master, so I just close it. Anything that you don't use, you just eliminate it. Media generator, I don't use it, so but I usually leave it over there. So over here it's where you are like in Sony Acid. This part, this part is this part now, down here. So everything that you'll place over here, the volume, the effects will appear over here, and you can control your volume, the opacity of your video over here. So here is your timeline where you'll be working on. Here is the play from start, play, or you can use the space bar on your keyboard, pause, stop, go back, or it's like a preview or a forward, something of that sort. So here you just zoom in and zoom out your work. Over here it's like working on Sony Acid back again. You can just use your direction up or direction down, like that. If you want to move this cursor frame by frame, you use your directional key, just like that. So on and on. So in the next tutorial, I will show you how to add something on your project file and explain this tab and this tab. And I believe with that, I believe you're good. For any questions, just comment. I'll leave my number on the description. You can just inbox me, and I can give you a phone call and explain it verbally as you do the work on your side. So I've been Sab, and let me see you in the next tutorial. Thanks.